Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a sit down video, but I have just a few minutes and I wanted to come here and talk to you guys about my park anxiety. And I was wondering if any of you, look at this crazy hair, any of you feel this way. So as we know, a park is like a big deal to kids. Kids love the park. My kids are a little weird with the park. Phoenix gets tired of the park really quickly. Like, he is like half an hour and he's like, all right, I'm all done. Or he just seems bored and he just wants to go. And then Avery, of course, follows him. And I'm okay with that. But I get major park anxiety. To be totally honest, I hate taking my kids to the park. Obviously, I do it because they enjoy it, but I'm secretly happy that they only enjoy it for a short amount of time because it gives me major anxiety. And I realized, talking to a friend and talking to John and just talking in general about it, that I've had this even before I had kids. I used to work as an instructor in a daycare, and I've worked in a daycare for many years. And but my last job right before I had Phoenix was the one that kind of sticks out to me. And I hated going to the park with the kids. Like, if it rained or if we didn't have to go to the park that day, I was happy. Like, the other teachers would go out and dry down the slides and dry everything just so that we can take the kids out to the park. And it's because, and not to bash them, but it's because they would just kind of sit back and it'd be great. They'd be outdoors, the kids be running. It was really easy for them. For me, however, I was like after the kids, walking behind them, making sure they didn't fall. If this one was climbing or that one was climbing. Park structures are always geared around a certain age, and our age group, we had a big age group. We had from 3-year-olds to infants. So I mean, the structure was good for the bigger ones but not the smaller ones, or some kids just grow and learn faster depending on what they've been like seen, like if they've taken to the park normally, or if they're not, then they don't know. So I was kind of always behind the kids. And you know, the openings, I hate the openings in the park. So there's certain parks that I can take my kids to with minimal anxiety, but then there's other parks who I wouldn't even take them to, like, unless John is with me. And even when John is with me, I still get anxiety. So I absolutely dread taking my kids to the park. And if you see my vlogs, you see that I take them often. So I don't really let it hold me back, but I have like certain things. I like parks that are more empty because it's just easier for me. If the park is completely empty, I'm even happier. Certain parks I can't take them to by myself, and that I think would just be for anybody in general. Like, if there's 2 openings to leave the park, then it's hard because the kids can just run separate ways, and then what happens? And my kids are not big like runners. Phoenix, he doesn't really just run off as much. He will try to run towards openings sometimes. Like, if he wants to go, he'll run towards opening, or he'll test you and stuff. But my biggest thing is the high structures. Like, you know how they'll have one section that you climb up, so if you're on the top, it's open and they can just fall right out. I will try to get a clip and put it in so you kind of know more what I'm talking about. But if they have a lot of those openings, I get so much anxiety. The school that Phoenix is in now has a little park, and that's our park closest to our house, so we go there sometimes. But I honestly prefer to go to the one by his regular school because it's very minimal. Like, the stairs have bars on them. This one, the stairs, like, it just has a rail, but you can just kind of fall right through. That gives me anxiety. So I am definitely a helicopter mom when it comes to the park, or anywhere, honestly. Anywhere we go that my kids are playing with other people or just playing in general, I'm right there with them. And I don't think that that is something that's going to change for a while, until they can physically come to me and tell me in a full out sentence what happened. And even then, I will always have my eye, because I like to know what is happening, and I let them figure things out by themselves. I let them problem solve. I let them do all that, but I'm there and I know what happened, and nobody has to come to tell me what happened. And But the point of this video is just park anxiety. Does anybody else feel this way? I see other people going to parks that have like a lot of people in it, and they're just watching their kid from a distance and just watching them, and they probably are watching them just as good as me, who's right there with them, but they can watch them from a distance without a problem. Like, I can't do that. So I prefer to go to parks by myself, or like with John. Like if I go to a park as a play date, like, oh, meet me at the park, it kind of gives me anxiety because I know I'm not going to really be able to talk to you. I'm not going to really be able to just sit back and kind of like, I have to be by them. So it really kind of is pointless, but it's how I deal with it. It's how I handle the anxiety. Like I said, I've managed, so I know what parks give me less anxiety and what parks I can kind of relax with. But the point of this video again is, does any of you have park anxiety? Do you enjoy taking your kids to the park? Everybody always seems like they enjoy it. I probably seem that way too in my vlogs because like I said, my kids enjoy it, so I take them, but it's not my favorite thing to do, and it's really kind of the only thing that you can constantly do that they will enjoy, you know, especially in the summer. If there's not a lot of things that I can do by myself. I can't take them to a lot of places by myself because it's just hard in general, anxiety or not, it's just hard. But the park is kind of one of the things that you can kind of do by yourself, and it gives me major anxiety, and I hate the feeling. Like, from the minute we get to the park till from the minute we get to the park to the minute we leave, my anxiety is like on an all-time high. I even kind of get snippy, like even if John's there and he's helping me, he's like watching one, I'm still watching that child from the side of my eye as I watch this one. Like, I'm still like, where's Phoenix, where's Avery, where's Phoenix, where's Avery? And the whole time it's just this heightened thing, and I hate that feeling so much. And it's like, how do I get that feeling to go away? Will it go away as they get older, or what? Obviously we can't keep our kids in a bubble, and I think that that's like the major reason, is the fact that like I don't want them to get hurt. And not only because, oh my god, I don't want my kids, and nobody wants their kids to get hurt obviously, but not only because like kids are gonna get hurt, they're gonna fall, they're gonna scrape themselves, but I feel like if like fall from somewhere high or something major happens, that I'm not gonna know what to do or how to handle it. And I know that in the moment everybody like figures it out and you do it without even thinking. But I feel like, what if I panic? What if it's my fault and I can't help him and he falls off and something dramatic happens to him? And that's what goes through my mind too. And that's kind of why I hate it. So I just wanted to see if anybody else out there feels the same way. What do you do to help it? Do you still go? Do you try to avoid it? Do you make sure you go with people? My top things that I do to help me, like I said, is I go to parks with minimal openings on the top. It's easier that way. I go to parks that are more on the empty side. I know the ones that are not really popular, and I try to go to those because that's what helps me. The kids enjoy it either way, so it doesn't really matter. And I try to go to parks that are more enclosed, that there's only one exit, and that there's not a lot of high things that they can just easily fall from, or that it's just easier for me to watch them by myself. And I guess even when I go with John, we kind of pick certain parks. I'm a little more loose with the parks that I go to when I'm with John, but I still get that anxiety even though John's there, and it's like an extra pair of eyes and hands, and if something were to happen, at least he's there and he can help with how to handle it. I'm not by myself and don't have to handle it all by myself. But yep, park anxiety, it's really a thing. If you have it, leave a comment down below and let me know how you handle it. What do you think of the park in general? And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.